you guys, welcome back. I just want to say this because I've been seeing a lot of like stuff going around saying that black women are the problem, but they're not. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because as a black trans woman, and I'm like an honest person, yes. I know a lot of people say that, well, trans girls want to replace biological women, but that's not the case. Probably some, yes, but there's a lot of people out there like, just like all black men aren't dogs, all black women aren't foolish or incapable. Like, we have different levels of different types of people, and there's a polarity of certain things: good, bad, evil, great, yeah. And I'm one of the great ones. However, you guys, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes, but I'm able to correct my mistakes and carry on with my life. However, I don't want to say that black men are the problem to you, but yes, they fucking are. They are the fucking problem. But I'm not gonna blame black men, and I'm not gonna blame black women, and we're not gonna play a blame game. The system is a problem. The system created that problem. However, we contributed to that problem, so we have to take accountability in our own suffering, in the role we play in our own suffering, I should say. But yes, society created that problem. It was all done by design to tear apart the black woman and the black man, and that is a fucking truth. You get me right? However, like I said, we need to take accountability in our own destruction. Like, for instance, if I was brought up the correct way, I don't think I would be a trans woman. But when you put a black son with a bitter mom because the baby father abused her, and then you raise that son in bitter bitch energy, and then when you raise that son, or abandon that son and allow the system to raise that son, this is what you get. You see, there's a lot of things that people don't talk about, that people just see things on the surface, but there's a lot of things beyond the surface that people just always skip over. Because if I was raised correctly in a proper household, in a proper household, I would not be a trans woman, and I would not be in this position. But I'm able to see the bullshit, correct myself from the bullshit, acknowledge my fuck shit, and speak truth. However, you guys, women are not the problem. And I want to say this. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fucking bullshit women that are the problem. Let's be real. A lot of women are the problem. But for the most part, the system created this problem, like I said, but men carry on or carry along that problem on a broader scale. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's start. A lot of men lust after women. They get that woman. They don't know how to treat her. They abuse her mentally. They abuse her physically. They abuse her spiritually. It's like a kid with a new shiny toy. And once that adrenaline off of that newness wears off, they go get another woman. They go get another new shiny toy. You get me right? He impregnated her, and then he left her to raise his offspring, and then she become a man herself. She's no longer in her feminine energy. She's operating in her masculinity. And then, especially when it comes to a boy, a lot of women contribute. When I say a lot of women contribute to their own problems, their own suffering, I'm going to tell you why. Because if you want a good man, it starts with your son. Don't raise your son to be like his father. It starts with you. You get my point, right? It starts with you. So just because your child father did you that, don't do your child because he did you that. You get me right? If you're trying to get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is train up your fucking child like a man, like a gentleman. Because I was just seeing something on TikTok that really inspired me about what someone said. Because I'm someone, I've ascended to a level where I can see on both spectrums, but I can also see beyond the surface. And yes, although women out, I'm not going to point, like I said, play blame game, or is a woman's fault, it's a man's fault. But to be real, it's the system's fault. Yeah. But it was this video talking about interracial dating about with black women specifically and white men. Now the divorce rate isn't high at all compared to a black man and a black woman. Which means that the black man is the problem. You get my point? But what I gathered from that video was this. Automatically, this just came to my head. If you want a good man, it starts from home. And I want to say that again. Women, if you want a good man, a good gentleman, it starts from home. Because once you raise your son to be a good man, he would never leave home. And I'm not saying like leave the house per se, but I'm talking about he would never leave your side. He will always respect you because you raised him to be a good man. You didn't send him out into this world to be a little devil. Okay? Women. I'm not going to blame women, and I'm not going to blame men too. But men, for the most part, they carry on that tradition of we're pookies. That's all I'm going to say, you guys. You get me right? If you don't want to Ray or Pookie, raise a Stephen. Urkel. You get me right? Thank you.